Just before this video starts, I want to make a disclaimer that all of these news stories are completely fictitious and just to add to the entertainment value of this video, so please don't take these seriously. These are completely made up and will probably never happen. So let's get into this fictitious storyline. Due to the COVID-19 outbreak, the N.H.L faced huge losses, and Gary Bettman decides to sell the league back to the WHA. CNN reports on March 23rd, 2020. What will happen with current NHL players and teams? Due to the lack of sporting events in North America over the past months, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman has decided to sell the league rights back to the WHA, or the Western Hockey Association. The WHA released a statement early on Monday morning explaining how the current NHL teams and players will have to realign under this new ownership. Things to know. This new league run by the WHA will no longer be called the NHL, but instead will be the N.A.H.L, or the North American Hockey League. The WHA has already reached out to many cities who have NHL franchises and professional-grade arenas to ask if they would like to make bids to keep their teams in place, or if the WHA should reach out to other locations to expand upon. The N.A.H.L has made it mandatory that 31 new teams be created before a players draft and league play can begin. The N.A.H.L has also made it clear that any players that are currently unrestricted free agents are also eligible for this players draft. Now that the coronavirus pandemic has calmed down, sporting events like the N.A.H.L will commence immediately after the players and new franchises are in place. So guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below, but this is how we're going to set this whole thing up, saying the league has been completely realigned. It's now the N.A.H.L, and let's get into the video.
3, 2, 1. Houston, you are clear for liftoff.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to episode number 1 of this NHL 20 Custom Leagues franchise mode here with the Houston Cosmonauts. Yes, you saw there by the title of the video and all of that stuff, and you know, the intro to the video that I did spend some time on. I did. But yeah, we're gonna jump into a new franchise mode. I'm super excited to get into this. I already actually tried to do this once and messed up because I added all my new players to our rosters. I am actually, before we start this new career, guys, I am going to go through and kind of just show you quickly, because I just spammed through it kind of quickly in the intro, but we have 31 new teams. If you want to see them here, just pause the video, but I did put a lot of work into all of these, and they are going to be very fun to see. Besides the Tigers, forget the Tigers, we're not using them, but obviously Houston is going to be the team we're using. And as you can see here, we've got 31 brand new teams. That's kind of what the setup and the storyline for this is that the coronavirus forced Bettman to shut down the league and sell it, and therefore all the top cities in America ended up, in North America ended up bidding on N.A.H.L franchise positions, because there's 31 of them, and most of the big cities got them. A lot of cities decided to keep their franchise, like Winnipeg, Washington, Vancouver, Toronto, but we do have newcomers like Seattle, San Francisco, San Diego, San Antonio, and teams as such, because there's opportunity there. So Mississauga's a new one, Memphis, Jacksonville, who else? Houston's a new one. I'm going to show you guys Houston here. Just because this is the team we're going to be using. I want to get you guys familiar with the jerseys and the logos and all that stuff. Obviously, you've seen the logo here before, but the arena you see in the background right now is actually the Toyota Center. Obviously just colored red to go with this team, but yeah, those are our 3 jerseys, pretty much the exact same as NHL 19 last year. I didn't really get into a full-on franchise mode with it, but that was introduced. For the mascot here, we've got Space Goblin. He's going to be pretty fun. He's going to be running around the arena and stuff like that for home games. And then, yeah, obviously the arena is the Toyota Center, which the Houston Rockets actually use in real life at the moment. So, yeah, that's going to be really fun to use and get into. The other thing I need to show you guys here quickly in the creation zone is the 31 players I've added here. Not all of them are franchise players. A lot of them are, but there are a handful of medium elites as well, who, were still just absolute studs in franchise modes that I'd played in the past or are currently playing. And yeah, obviously they're going to make a difference. Everybody is 80 rated here, just to kind of be transparent with you guys. Everybody's 80 rated and 18 years old and a free agent. So that's what I messed up on, was I added all these guys to separate teams, but then that duplicated them because they were also in free agency. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. But I'm sure you recognize a whole bunch of these names like Wilson Mills and Yuri Chubasov and guys like that. Other guys, I mean, I'll put it on the screen. You guys can just pause and look at it if you want, but it's a spreadsheet of all of these players, what their strengths were, what franchise mode they came from, and were like a legend to me in NHL. That's, more or less what that spreadsheet details. So yeah, now we are going to actually jump into the franchise mode. I know it's a bit of a lengthy intro, but it's getting you guys all properly set up to enjoy this series as much as possible. So here we go. This is going to be a bit of a lengthy process here at the start. Obviously, our name is going to be Etanyos, but I am going to have to go and realign the entire league, replace all the current teams with our new 31 teams that we are going to be using here. So, it's going to be a bit of a lengthy process. I'll probably just cut it right here, and then I'll scroll through all the teams for you guys to show you that they are in the league. So guys, as you can see, we finally have all the teams lined up here. Certain arena names match the new location. So like Austin, Texas, the Frank Irwin Center is actually an arena. Obviously we've gone through and just, created pretty much all the teams equal for the most part here. Everybody's got 3-star concession for the most part, except for maybe like the Pepsi Center. But yeah, no, all these teams you can just look through. Obviously, we are going to be using the Cosmonauts, but you can kind of guess by the A.H.L logos which team is which, if teams have moved. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun franchise mode here. You can kind of see all the team names. I was very tempted to use the stars, but obviously we aren't going to be using them. You can't use an and logo, funny enough, for the AT&T logo. That's just, I don't know, that's weird. I named the San Diego Arena the Shark Tank Arena, which is pretty cool, I think. American Airlines, yeah, or Alaska Airlines, sorry, not American Airlines, geez. I renamed the Capital One Arena to the Royal One Arena just to match the Capitals versus the Royals, and yeah, that's all the teams there, so you guys can, pause the video, look through it, whatever you want to do. But anyways, we are going to jump into this franchise mode here. I got to realign the divisions quickly, but I do believe that this conference was completely good. We didn't have to change anything there. There was only a few quick changes needed in this conference, mainly being that the Austin Outlaws were moved over versus Chicago was in the Atlantic, which, Austin, Chicago, that makes sense, right? But Boston's over. Houston's supposed to be way over here instead of... Oh, who is it? Nashville. I believe Nashville is supposed to be over as well. So Detroit, yeah, okay. Montreal's supposed to be in this division instead of Nashville. Okay. So CCDMNOT. Okay. That all looks good. BCJ is supposed to go. Or no, it's I first. Oops. So it's IJ. KLMNOP QSD WXYZ. Okay. Okay, so I do believe I have the divisions completely aligned now. All the teams are where I want them to be, and this is going to be a pretty fun series. I just want to double check that I have these perfectly aligned, because if I don't, I'm going to be kicking myself later. Ice Tigers and Lions. Okay, so I did switch up one here. Good thing I checked. So the Gladiators are actually supposed to be over here. The Ice Tigers are supposed to be down. And the Detroit Dragons go there instead. Okay. So that is perfectly aligned now. And yeah, you can just look through the divisions real quick. Again, pause the video if you feel, or if you want to, feel free to. And yeah, we are using Houston here to start. So, you know, things might change throughout, but we are going to be doing a fantasy draft. We are keeping the cap on. We're turning off GM firing because I don't like getting fired. It's happened to me in the past. No fog of war or head coach editing our lines because those things just don't work with me. And I believe everything else is good there. So I just got to change a couple more rules and settings quickly. So quick settings, I like to play 5-minute periods. We're going to keep it on all-star, authentic, medium, yep. Wait, draft ownership. You know what? I think since it's new, we're going to set it to classic, so all teams have their own picks, and we'll go from there. That makes sense. So yeah, classic's definitely a big thing to change. And then for advanced settings, we're going to turn the sim engine scoring to high. Injuries are going to be fully healed because that just really makes me mad. Okay, that looks good. And then gameplay sliders, we're going to bump injuries down just because it pisses me off. I'm not going to bump it down as low as I have in the past. We're going to keep it at about 25, so half of what the game would normally see here. So yeah, that's really what it's going to mean when it says custom here in the bottom corner. But yeah, fantasy draft coming up here, baby. I am very excited for this, and let's see what happens. So I don't know how this is going to get set up. I think it just lines us up right into a draft right away. And it's put us at 18th. I'm actually okay with that spot, but it means we're not going to be getting a crazy star player right off the start. So, you know, I'm kind of feeling like we randomize this a couple times. I don't expect to land first, and I don't really want to be honest. So, yeah, let's randomize it. I'm feeling 4 times, and let's see what happens. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, puts us at 11th. I'm okay with that. By the looks of it, Nashville is going to land themselves Connor McDavid. And I really don't know how the rest of this is going to go. It's going to be very interesting to see. Too bad for Columbus. They're going to kind of get screwed here by the draft lottery odds. But, you know, they'll have the first pick in the next round, so nothing really to worry about. We'll have pick 11 and 20 in back-to-back rounds. But let's start this fantasy draft. So something I need to talk to you guys about is these franchise players. I haven't set any limit on who we can pick and, you know, how many of these, like, 80 rated franchise players I've made that we can. Oh my gosh, Elias Pettersson went 3rd. Jeez, okay. Crosby goes. I feel like a couple teams missed on players here that they probably should have taken. So, yeah. Man, Rantanen's hard to pass on first round. Like, a sniper like that's that good and only 22 years old. Like, I'd really like him, but I would also really like a couple other centers that are in here. I would say centers are definitely one of my strong suits here for players I want to try and draft. And like a 23-year-old Braden Point or somebody along those lines, or 23, 20. Like, look at these guys. Come on, man. These are nice contracts on really good players. And I would be down to take just about any of those guys. So I'm thinking, let's see, for our first center selection, I think I have to go with Barkov. He's a 2-way forward. He's just crazy good all around. He's got 87 faceoffs. We're going to go with Alexander Barkov for our first pick here and see what happens here for the rest of the first round and quite a bit of the second too. So as you can see, Woodworth already gets picked. Same with Pillman. Same with anybody else. Doesn't really look like it. Most of the teams are kind of sticking with the higher rated players still, which is smart. But you never know. Somebody might have taken one of those 80 rated franchise first round. That's definitely possible. So this is very interesting to see. Detroit went with Svechnikov instead of Larkin. They could have gone with Larkin. They didn't. So yeah, none of those franchise players went first round. But as you are seeing here, a lot of those guys have already gone in the second round. So I think we're okay with picking somebody here second round that's a franchise player. Obviously, Woodworth and Pillman already went, and I am, intrigued to take guys around that potential again over, some of these younger players, just because they're going to be better for the future of the team. But oh man, Zach Werenski would be nice too. No, I'm not really feeling him. Not yet. I say not yet. We're not going to get him if we don't pick him this round. But I think I want to go with, we got these crazy potential players in here. And we got goalies too, so that's the other thing. But if I'm targeting, I've got 3 kind of targets picked out for guys that I would like to take out of all my created players. So those guys would be, as far as forwards go, I would like to take Walker Harris, just because he's an absolute tank of a power forward and he'll score like crazy. So he would be my forward pick, but because we do have a center already, but I assure you a lot of these centers are going to get picked soon. As far as defense goes, there's Bartley, Matsumoto, all these different guys, but I'm thinking Davidson because he's undersized offensive defenseman, going to score crazy amounts of points. Even if it's not a lot of goals, I would still like to have him. And then we have goalies as well here with the franchise potential, 3 of them to be exact. And then, there's Toskala as well, who's going to be good for the future, but just not really so much right now. So I'm thinking Larmour just because he's 6'4" versus the other goalies are a little smaller. So I'm thinking a 6'4" Jamie Larmour would be insane to pick, but I'm going to go with a defenseman here first, and I'm going to take John Davidson as our pick here for the second round, 80 rated offensive defenseman. Obviously, Tuukka Pillman already got picked, and as you are seeing, we missed Walker Harris. Damn it. I would have loved Walker Harris. So a lot of guys go at the tail end of the second round here. My God. So Howe went, Zaitsev went, Brookbank went right after, Matsumoto went. Jeez. Okay, so lots of names going there. Tuukka Pillman was the first guy to go, though, by the Memphis Lions. That's a good pick by them overall still. So let's see who's on the board. I get the feeling 1 or 2 more of these franchise guys are going to be on the board. And yeah, there are definitely some available still. So I am thinking... See, this is tough because I would like to pick up Mills, but if we get a franchise center, they will eventually surpass, what's his name? They will eventually surpass Alexander Barkov, and then we'll get on to some of these other guys that I created, and, they'll still be really good, but it's funny because Kakko's actually better than a lot of these other guys here. Just at his age, he's 81 overall instead. So it's like, you could take Kakko instead of a whole bunch of these other guys, but no, the franchise potential really gets him. And, out of all these guys, if we paired, that would be crazy on the defensive pairing. If we paired up Bartley and Davidson together, that would be insane. But, I don't really want Varlamov. I think Donovan Leach is going to be the guy that I go for just because I've never actually used him. I've used all these other guys. I've used Varlamov, I've used Bartley, I've used Chubasov. So I'm thinking Donovan Leach is going to be our pick here. He's a playmaking center, and, having that 1-2 punch up the middle is going to be crazy helpful in the future. Obviously him and Barkov are 6 years apart, but, oh my gosh, lots of very good players here getting picked still. And I assume the rest, there goes one goalie in Korolyuk. I don't know how many other goalies got picked. Thom got picked. Scavello got picked. Leopold got picked. So sad days here. But yeah, Walker Harris is the one that I think is going to come back to bite us in the ass. San Jose got a really nice pick there. Varlamov went right after. Chubasov didn't go far after that. And then Bartley was the last kind of pick out of all those guys. Tarnquist and Jar went. I didn't see Tarnquist going ahead of Jar, but I guess so. And Wilson Mills, missed on him too. That's too bad because I was looking forward to, possibly picking him. So I think we are selecting a goalie now. And it's obviously not going to be like a Vasilevsky or John Gibson kind of level goalie, but, getting a franchise goalie is a big deal in this game. And having one for the future, again, you go 1, 2, 3 franchise players in a row here. And is it Larmour on the board still? If Larmore's on the board, I think we have to take him. There's no other option, really. And yeah, I just don't see us taking Carter Hart or anybody else when there's, somebody as high potential as Brizgalov or Larmore. And I think we're taking Larmore because he's so big. He's 6'4" already, and he is 18 years old. So yeah, we will go with 3 80 rated players in a row, but it's going to pay off in the long run. So now we get to try and fill out the rest of this team with a slightly more limited selection of players. So a lot of really good guys have gotten picked here. It's very interesting to see Carey Price didn't go until the 4th round, and he's 91 overall. So, you see what I mean by this, right? Adding these 31 guys in adds a whole nother round of skilled and crazy good players for a long time. Okay, so here we go. Now we get down to business. I mean, we could just go, potential, pick all the best players like that. That's a kind of crappy way to do it, to be honest. I'd prefer to go with other guys rather than just always going with the franchise kind of players or elite players or whatever you want to call them. I mean, Duran would be a sick pick, but I don't know. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go with the order that's on the board. And let me just kind of figure out what we got so far in each position. Okay, so I'm trying to base my picks based on the standpoint that the 3 players we picked in round 2, 3, and 4 are not going to be top-end NHLers right off the bat. They're going to need a year or two to develop. So that's what I'm basing these picks off of, and I think the guy that I want to go with, I don't want to go with crazy young guys. That's not what my goal is for picks here, but I am trying to keep the team a little bit younger so they can stay competitive for longer as the new group of 18-year-old guys here really grows into their own. So what I'm trying to do is keep this team competitive for multiple years here, not just go and pick the 33-year-old guys, right? So I think what I'm feeling here is more of, we don't really have a top-end defender yet, a guy that will play top 4 minutes all the time. But same thing with wingers and stuff like that. So I think the player we're going to take, we're going to go a little off the board with this. I think to start things off here, we're going to go with, is he 2-way forward? No, he's not. Okay, we're going to go with is it Teuvo? Teuvo Teravainen. Yeah, we're going to go with Teuvo Teravainen to start here, and we'll see who else gets picked along the way here, but my next target would be Lindholm, and that's Elias Lindholm. I was looking more at Hampus, but let's see. So yeah, Hampus Lindholm did get picked, unfortunately. Maybe we go with a goalie here on this next pick too. That's also a possibility. So interesting picks all throughout here. Oh man, Hellebuck would have been a nice starter, obviously, but yeah, we just missed on a bunch of guys. Washington gets Toskala. That's a big pick, obviously. Drouin there too. Okay, so what we really are in search of at this point, I would say, is defense still, but I don't want to take an old defender, right? So okay, so I think for players remaining on the board here, we're going to go with... See, I almost want to go with Giordano just to try to go on a cup run right off the bat. That would be insane. But at the same time, 35 years old, probably not going to play for all that much longer. Probably not the wisest pick when there's all these other really good defenders on the board still. Hamilton would be nice. We'll pick up defensive defensemen later, so I think I might actually go with Dougie Hamilton here. So, yeah, we'll take Dougie Hamilton for now. See what he can kind of turn into. I mean, Parayko would be nice too. I'm just thinking for that offensive defensive kind of mix, right? So let's go with Hamilton for now. He's going to be the more highly actually, yeah, I think we have to, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll go with Hamilton. So Dougie Hamilton going to be our next pick there, just kind of strengthening our defensive core, and our next pick is going to be pick 20 of the next round. And we just missed Giordano, man. We just missed him. That's too bad, because that would have really kind of solidified how this team is going to look. But yeah, wow, a lot of good players in here before our pick, obviously, and couple after, not as many, but still solid. And yeah, round 7 looking real strong still. Farabee's a good pick in there. And yeah, okay, we are going to take with this next pick. Okay, so something that this team hasn't really built around yet that it needs is still a goalie, but I get the feeling that with the goalies that remain here, we could probably go with a goalie like Lundqvist or Rene in a later round still, just because, you know, they got kind of crappy contracts, but they would be pretty clinical for our first couple seasons here once we can, you know, let our other goalies grow into their roles. But we do need a right winger very badly as well, and I'm feeling Victor Arvidsson or Timo Meier would be really nice too. Okay, so what's more risky? Timo Meier is going to be better for longer. So we're going to take Timo Meier first here. So yeah, well, he adds to the top pairing there, the top line, but I don't think we're going to miss on both of those 87 rated goalies, but we just might. You never know here. So, doesn't really look like it. It looks like a lot of teams are settling for top 6 kind of forwards and players of such rating and potential rather than selecting the older goalies here, which, you know, I'm totally okay with waiting on those older goalies and picking up guys like Timo Meier instead. I'd say Meier was definitely a better selection than Arvidsson overall. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens here next. Okay, so for this next pick, I'm thinking we go with, I would love Zdeno Chara because he's only $2 million. I guess he is a two-way defender. I thought he was defensive for some reason. I don't know why, but I thought he was. So I think what might be better is going for a guy like either, he's a grinder. See, that's stupid because he's easily a power forward instead. See, that would be sweet. Going with a guy like Tyler Bertuzzi would be a real nice pick, and I would be totally okay with it, especially for the contract there that he offers. Is Alex Tuch really only 23 years old? No way. No way is he younger. Really? Is he actually that much? Jeez. Minnesota was kind of dumb that they let him go, not going to lie. But, we already have a couple power forwards. I'd prefer a two-way forward here in Bertuzzi, I think. So, yeah, we're going to take Tyler Bertuzzi here. I think we'll be able to kind of, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be able to hold off much longer on these goalies. So, yeah, I think I'm going to take the risk on Bertuzzi now and then hope that we can pick up a goalie in the next round or two. And, yeah, Tyler Bertuzzi will be good still. All right, so by the looks of it, do any of these goalies go here? For the remainder of round 8. Grubauer, no, it doesn't really look like, oh no, Rene went. All right, so that means we are guaranteed the king himself, Henrik Lundqvist, because we need one of those high-rated goalies. So yeah, we'll take Lundqvist. I'm okay with that. So we are already at round 10, but we got 20. How many rounds? We got 32 rounds. Okay, so that is yeah, that's a lot of rounds. Geez. So yeah, lots of time to pick players here still. There's not going to be that many left at the end of this, but we are definitely getting up in age a bit here with some of these guys. I would say, oh god, they're all two-way defenders. I'm looking for like more of a defensive kind of guy just to kind of pair up with our other guys here. So I'm thinking, yeah, Chris Tanev for a second pairing defenseman would be real nice. And he's not super expensive either, and he's only on 1 year left, so we can kind of see how he plays and go from there. So yeah, I'm happy with Chris Tanev. All right, so we're definitely getting down to the slightly slimmer pickings here, as there aren't that many selections left in round 11 or so here. Okay, so we are probably going to want to start looking at potentials again here on some of these guys and just seeing what is available at the top end here. Low elites throughout, so that's an option. I wouldn't even be that wouldn't even be that bad a pick to go with a guy like Fleury or somebody like that. But yeah, no, the potential's definitely dropped off a bit. So I think what we do here is go with, well, let's see what do we got once there's not medium top 6 forwards anymore. Jesus. Who's the top end of our, oh God. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely a much lower group of players available at this point, so you know, maybe as a guy like N.A.H.L wouldn't be that bad. Maybe it makes our team worse, yeah, but you know, at the same time, it's probably not going to be all that bad, to be honest. We do need a second line center still too, but you know, the defense is very important. So let's go with N.A.H.L for now. So yeah, we're definitely getting down here in the players available. The top 9 forwards are starting to look a little more intriguing at this point. So yeah, Cale Fleury would have been a good pick, but whatever. We'll live with what we did and who we picked. See, I'm trying my best not to go for age here because there are a lot of older and aging kind of guys that are available, but I don't really want them, to be honest. We got $40 million in cap space still, so we can afford to spend a bit. Not crazy amounts of money, but a bit. And a guy like Ondrej Palat's looking real nice right about now. You know, we could throw him onto the second line, maybe right wing, but he's a playmaker. Yeah, I could see us doing that. So we could throw Palat there. I will take Ondrej Palat at 28 or whatever he is. I think he's 28. So Pajot actually was a pretty nice pick. Same with Gurianov. And that was really about it. A lot of lower rated players getting picked now, and we're kind of just strengthening out our team by selecting other guys here instead. So it looks of it, Kevin Hayes got picked, so that's too bad. Oh no, he didn't. But he's 7.1 million as well, so maybe not the best contract available there. And you know, a guy like Toffoli might be a better option again. Or, see, Josh Anderson, again, could be a very nice option. But we need centers. That's the biggest problem right now, is we need centers. And there aren't all that many available with good potential anyways. I mean, I've seen guys like Dante Heinen and players like that grow to ridiculous ratings, which is, you know, unlikely, but it's possible. Heinen is only 24, but yeah, he might be one of the better picks to go with here, honestly. So yeah, let's take Dante Heinen. I know he's only 80 rated, but we'll go with him for now. All right, so Puljujarvi gets picked there. Brassard, Terry, Toffoli. You know, lots of good names in here still. Lots of potential on those guys for sure. And yeah, I mean, things are looking good for a lot of teams here overall. Okay, I'm kind of feeling Ilya Kovalchuk here for our next pick, so we'll take Kovalchuk, see what he can do, and yeah, I mean, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Evan Bouchard gets picked beginning of the 14th round, I believe that was. And yeah, you know, the draft's kind of starting to drag on because there's so many rounds, but you know, it makes sense. And you know, Parise's still on the board, but kind of feeling Jumbo Joe here instead. He's 83 rated, and he'll make a good second line center, so let's take Jumbo Joe. All right, so we more or less have our top 6 picked out as well as our top 4 forward group picked out. At this point, we're more in need of left wingers as well as what else? Left wingers and bottom kind of pairing defense. So, you know, Nemesnikov's not bad. His contract isn't great, but a lot of 80 rated guys on the board still. My gosh. So I picked one too many playmakers, and it's kind of throwing me off now. So what I'm thinking is we need right wingers. That is definitely an option. So I'm thinking Brock Nelson probably, as he is, a power forward? Yeah, okay. So we'll take Brock Nelson. Probably one of the better picks available. And, you know, we have so much money still that, you know, we'll be all right with what we got. I think we start toning it down a bit on the contract craziness for how much we're spending, and I think we go with some slightly better deal defenseman. Oh my God, Connor Murphy got paid way too much, unfortunately. You know, a guy like Ben Hutton would not be that bad. I'll take him on as one of our bottom end defenders, and that's not terrible. All right, so we're definitely getting down to the last kind of, or the lower end of the draft for sure. I mean, we could just start taking prospects, but that's not always the smartest idea. See, Joe Veleno. Joe Veleno would be a nice piece to pick up for the future because I know he'll make the NHL eventually. Same with Ratcliffe, but yeah, I'm going to pick Veleno even though he's not going to play in our team. I'm just going to pick him right now because why not, right? Like 70 rated, two-way forward, top 6 forward. He's going to be good for the future. So we are still considering the future here. It's not just present, right? So is Coburn a righty or lefty? He's a lefty. Shoot. Okay, I think I'm feeling Corey Perry here for a bottom pairing kind of, or bottom end, like bottom line player. So we're going to take him there in round 19. How many rounds we got left? We got up to 32. Jeez. Okay, so I kind of just want to get my NHL lines set and then go from there, really. So I'm going to take Colin Wilson as a bottom pairing kind of guy. Or bottom line. Again, I keep saying bottom pairing, and it should be bottom line. We just need a right-handed defender, really, and then our NHL lineup's good, and I think I'm going to sim the rest of it. Looking at defense. Looking more for a right-handed guy that isn't going to cost me $6 million. Because we only have $11 million left. Justin Braun for 3.8 is not good. Not a good deal there. Let's go with Kevin Miller instead. That's a bit better for sure. Okay, so I kind of get the feeling that for the rest of this draft, we're going to be taking more prospect kind of guys rather than who is Pitlick. I've never heard of him as being a prospect, but yeah, I get the feeling for the rest of this draft, we're probably going to be taking more like guys around here who will be on entry-level kind of contracts and playing in the AHL systems, things like that. And, you know, they might grow over time, but it's unlikely. And, I mean, it doesn't make your team all that much weaker by doing this. So, interesting throughout here. This is always interesting to see who gets picked where, what happens with that. And really that last kind of list of players isn't going to make that much of a difference. So I think what we're going to do, rather than just going through and just picking all these players that are, you know, like not going to make that big a difference in the long run. A guy like McIsaac will probably make the NHL. Same with Dylan Collin. He usually makes it. Same with Cal Foote. I think I kind of want to go with Jared McIsaac. He actually is not a bad prospect, so we'll take him for now. Again, we're just more picking prospects than anything, and then the computer will end up drafting the rest of these. So we'll make 2 more picks going into round 25 with prospects, and then we'll let the computer do the rest, see who we get, really. And yikes, it's not looking that good on the offensive side. On the defensive side, that's a little better. Clegg usually makes the team. Yeah, let's go with Clegg. Even though he is 21 already, I'm okay with that. And yeah, the potential's really dropped off here for the most part. So yeah, as you can see, no really good defense left. And I mean, we haven't picked a goalie in a while, so maybe. See, that's tough. Maybe a guy like Ville Husso or. Yeah, let's go with Husso. So we are going to let the computer do the rest of our drafting at this point. I accidentally hit sim to user pick, so our round 26 pick there got picked for us and I didn't see it. So who did the AI decide to select for us? Great selection, man. Okay, so we're going to sim the rest of the draft and see how that goes, really. So the draft is now complete. This is our list of players that we got. After Huso, I really don't recognize that many players. So, yeah, that's the draft. We get some really good players overall, good players for the future, and I think that the Houston Cosmonauts are set up pretty well as of right now. You know, not the craziest team in the NHL. Obviously led by Alexander Barkov. I don't know if we'll name him captain or not. We'll see what happens there. I mean, obviously he's a very good leader, but we do have guys like Leach and Davidson there who are picked at very good spots too, that could be very good players moving into the future. And, you know, don't forget Jamie Larmour in net as well. I mean, he won't be captain, obviously, but he's going to be crazy good. I probably should have gone and looked at all the other teams, but yeah, it's fine. We'll go and check them out here pretty soon. Getting cold in my room now. Got my window open and it's like 9 o'clock at night, and yeah, I'm getting a little cold. Okay, so I believe we're gonna have the regular kind of draft class and everything here with Lafreniere and stuff like that. Ooh, okay, so there is actually a franchise winger in here, and Caden Loynes as well. That's interesting. That makes things a little bit more fun here. And, I mean, I'd be okay with guys later in this round, but I'm kind of blown away that we just added, like, at least 25 franchise players. Maybe not 25, but probably about 23 or 24 new franchise players to the league. And the game's like, you know what? Let's throw another right in there. Let's see what Caden Loynes can do. And it's like, okay, I see you. I don't know if we're ever going to end up going after him. We are considered contenders. So that's interesting to see. Let's see what the lineup's been thrown together as here. Probably just the best lines for the most part. And no, keep my coach off, please. I don't want to deal with him. Holy, Timo Meier. You like the second line, hey, buddy? Probably going to play the rest of your career there then. Okay, so by the looks of it, it's better to have either Palat there or... I think we go like that. If we can. No, we can't. Okay, so I'm thinking something like that's probably going to be the best kind of fit that we can get for this team. Just, you know, get the top line running, see what the rest of the team can do without the chemistry boost like crazy. And, yikes. Okay, so... Davidson does not like how that system's set up at the moment. Yeesh, okay. I mean, I'm okay with the bottom pairing not really fitting together, but it will make things a lot more difficult in the near future. And, I mean, you got Lundqvist and Larmour, obviously, right? So it's not terrible, but oh god. Is that really how bad the rest of our picking was? It is. Jeez. All right, give me a couple seconds here so we can go sign some free agents and stuff like that. But we also do need to go look at the lines and things like that. So, yeah, free agents first, for sure. Okay, so Okposo's cheap. He would be worth signing, no questions asked. Yeah, so I think we go with Okposo for 2.3, just add that winger presence, add Marlowe for cheap as well, even though he is old. You know, they're like, these are throwaway kind of contracts, man. Those two, and then I'm kind of feeling Anisimov, honestly. Not even that bad a player. Besides that, I'm thinking more like younger guys that can play in the A.H.L, so like Samuel Morin if he ever gets healthy. I think we want to base this mainly on overall. So a guy like Brandon Tanev is an awesome piece for the AHL. Same with a lot of these guys, actually. I'm just looking for younger guys mainly, so Nordstrom would be nice. Sorensen would be nice. Sundqvist would be very nice. My God, I can't believe no one signed him. Then see, we want wingers too, but all the wingers seem to be older. So Cody Eakin, this is just adding AHL depth more than anything, and that's what we're doing right now. So tossing up a whole bunch of contracts. Obviously, we don't have that many contracts currently, so this doesn't hurt. We want some defense, so guys like Spiza and Beaulieu, Achari. I'm just signing anybody under 30 years old. So, and then goalies too. What do we got for goalies? Man, if we get, I don't want an 80 rated guy in here because he might steal the backup job from, what's his name, from Larmour. So we don't really want that. But instead, if we go for, some other guys that can definitely be a good tandem in the AHL, our AHL team's going to thrive most likely. So Bouwmeester wants 2.7, which is too much. I think I signed Spiza and Beaulieu. I could go for Pizik as well, but I'm pretty sure Spiza and Beaulieu are both defensive. Oh no, Beaulieu's a two-way. Okay, but are they all lefties? Yeah, so far. Let's sign Pizik. He's nice and cheap. And let's sign... Yeah, Stephen Johns, or Steven Johns. I don't know how you say it. Johns, anyways. Joakim Ryan would be a nice addition, too, even though he's 26 already. But, yeah, it's not too bad. Offered Okposo a deal, and then no other real right wingers for the most part. Maybe Tyler Pitlick would be all right. Again, this is just building out the depth in our AHL and hoping that that system doesn't crash and burn so badly, because at the moment it is set up to do that. We could, again, definitely use some lower-end centers here. I mean, we offered a whole bunch of contracts, so I assume that a lot of those guys are going to sign, and we'll get the Wilkes-Barre / Scranton Penguins doing a little bit better. So I think I'm just going to jump into the assign scouts kind of phase, and we will go through the we'll go through the preseason. I won't show you guys the preseason. We'll get to the regular season, and then that's where next episode will kick off. So yeah, I'd say the prospect we're definitely most interested in is definitely Caden Loynes, just to see how he turns out, because I know he's going to be a franchise player because he's ahead of Lafreniere, who's already a high elite. So yeah, we're going to sim to the regular season. Let's check out the owner goals and all that good stuff. They think we can get 44 wins and 22 road wins. Okay, finished top 3 in the conference, so high, lofty expectations here to start off for the Cosmonauts, but that is totally fair. As far as budget goes, they always want us to do arena operations, so let's just bump that right up. And I don't care for that. Okay, so we get Tanev, Okposo, Sundqvist, Morin. I have a full roster. Interesting. Anisimov signs, Ryan signs, Forsberg signs, Marlowe signs, Sorensen signs, Pitlick signs, Rask signs, Nordstrom signs, Spiza signs, Beaulieu signs, Achari signs, John signs, Pizik signs, Eakin signs. Okay, so for whatever reason, we have like no goalies, but that makes sense. I'm kind of confused as to what's going on right now. So they want us to assign scouts. I don't need to. But yeah, I just kind of want to see what we're dealing with here with Caden Loynes. Obviously, he is a franchise player. He's 6 feet tall. Going to be probably a play. I mean, it says he's a sniper, but he's left-handed. So interesting. Obviously, he's still getting scouted, as are a lot of these guys. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things turn out here. Obviously, this first draft is never really the strongest, but, it's not going to be that bad either. So yeah, just to end things off here, I think we go through and kind of view the lines nice and quickly. See what teams have been able to put together. Actually, hold on. Is that actually how bad the Austin Outlaws are? That might actually be how bad the Outlaws are. So, yikes. Okay, so yeah, the Outlaws look really bad or not the. Oh god. Okay, so that's what happened here. Is that all of these are going to be out of order. They're not going to be in alphabetical order, obviously. Jesus. Okay. So that's something we'll deal with, but for whatever reason. Why? Why are Mississauga and Edmonton ahead of Austin? Okay. So that's Mississauga, sorry. Mississauga, yeah, looks pretty bad at the moment. Yikes, man. I was expecting a slightly stronger team from them. Edmonton isn't bad, but isn't great either. They got Clefbaum back, but yeah, Ryan Murray could hold them in it. And then we actually get to the, proper alphabetical order here. That's a stronger looking team. The Austin Outlaws put together a good system. And not bad goalies, but again, could be stronger. The Bulldogs in Boston, again, not the strongest team. Why did I hit back? I'm kind of, oh god, okay. I don't know, man. I kind of think that our team is one of the stronger teams in the league at the moment. I don't know if anybody put together a real championship kind of roster so far. I mean, the Bulldogs do have Gibson, right? So remember that. As far as the Calgary Cowboys go, Aho and Connor together are really strong. They got Makar for the future, and that's about it. I don't think they really grabbed any franchise kind of guys. Braden Penner is in Charlotte, so they made a good decision there, as he is going to be a very good player in the future. And they also have Jack Eichel there. Jeez, okay. Nice pairings. And they got Matsumoto. Oh, Charlotte's going to be a nasty team. They're going to be a nasty team in the future. And they got Eric Brandstrom too. Jesus. They really sacrificed their current defense for the future. Well done, Charlotte. You guys made the right choices, I think. Solid team in Chicago, but nothing ridiculous. Yeah, just solid, really. The Chicago Devils will be a solid team. They probably will make the playoffs. This is a good-looking team already. And they got Luke Leopold down there. So, yeah, the Columbus Eagles looking real nice. And the defense is strong throughout as well. Good prospects still remaining there. Their goaltending might suffer in the future, but... Ooh, Dallas. How did you get two 90-rated players together so quickly? I think they were one of the last round. They were one of the last picks of the first round, I think. It won't tell you, but yeah, that's pretty strong there on the top line. And they got Tuukka Rask. Yikes, man. Okay, the Rampage are a good team. They're not bad, but they're not the most spectacular again. Good solid setup here with Kane, Giroux, and Oshie for the Denver Grizzlies. And they got Heiskanen, so there's a good prospect for the future, and now, I guess, as well. And they got Hellebuck in net. Okay, so Denver's solid. This is another really solid team here in Detroit. Just good group of players there. Ooh, that's nasty. That's nasty. They put Sergei Datsuk. Hold up. So how did that happen? What did I do wrong? Okay. For some reason, Sergei Datsuk is a... What? He's a 26-year-old medium top 6 defender instead of an 18-year-old medium elite defender? Okay. Don't ask me how that happened, but it did. There's probably... I either just totally messed up when I was making him, or There's a glitch. I don't know. Like, how does that even happen? Anyways, the Indiana Ice Tigers are looking pretty sweet right now. We'll see if Patrice Bergeron's two-way game can fix Taylor Hall's one-way game. And they got Bobrovsky in net. Oh, geez. Pretty good defense there in Jacksonville. And that's... I mean, they got a good top six group as well. But, nothing standout spectacular. LA Tropics are looking good. They're not looking spectacular, but they're looking good. And how's their goaltending? Ooh, they got Mikhail Koroliuk, so that is a big thing for them, is that Koroliuk will lead that team into the future, so LA's got their future goalie for a long time. Okay, for Memphis, nothing crazy. They did take Tuukka Pillman, so he's going to be the face of that franchise heading into the future. And Montreal Lumberjacks were able to pick up Kakko as well as Zibanejad, as well as that looks like almost it. Ryan Poehling they were able to pick up. And, good defense, though. Good defense. I will give them that. They did pick up a very solid defensive core, and they have Marc-Andre Fleury in net. So they might contend. They might contend for the first year. McDavid's obviously in Nashville there. He is playing alongside Nick Ehlers and Evgeny Dadonov. We'll see how that goes. And they have Connor Howe tucked in behind him. And, oh my God. And Mikhail Savan. All right, well, you want to talk about a scary tandem? That's a scary tandem right there, because they could have three franchise players on their hands real quick, especially if Howe and Savan grow together. They got Grubauer in net there. Interesting, and not bad defense. I can't believe they pulled that off, that they picked up three franchise players just like we did. Okay, the New York Stars. This will be interesting because this was almost a team I used, but not quite. They turn out okay. They pick up Evgeny Kuznetsov, and Andre Tham. So, yeah, okay, they got a good system. Martin Jones there, not bad. Ottawa Spartans. Nobody crazy standout. Good there. Tarasenko, but jeez, top end heavy. And they get Francois Lalonde for the future. I like it. I like that Lalonde ended up in Ottawa. And they got Holtby and Gillies, and that looks like it's about it. Okay, Ottawa's got a good team. Oh, that's nasty. Bear Martinez paired with Leon Draisaitl is going to be deadly in the future. Philly did a real nice job there, and they pick up Wallstrom to play backup center, as well as Joel Farabee on the wing. And damn is all I can say. They got a top heavy team. I mean, their goaltending could definitely carry them there still to the playoffs, and maybe even further. Looking like a real weak system in Phoenix for the most part. I mean, they got Devin Scavello, so that should be solid for them. And they got Vasilevsky, right? So Vasilevsky's the big name there out of that franchise. Wilson Mills going to make him a name for himself in San Antonio. Once Malkin retires, Monahan will probably move over to the wing. As far as defense goes, they're solid, but nobody stand out really for the future. Just Petrangelo's really good as well. McKinnon and Landeskog still end up together, and Sergei Smirnov ends up on the same team. So, dear God, we are going to have another power line on our hands. It's just going to be in San Diego this time. San Diego got a nice kind of top end there. And they got Bowen Byram for the future, so they'll be good on the back too, probably. As far as Seattle goes, dear God, they got Ovechkin and Wilson together. It's just Kopitar centering that lineup instead. Yikes. Okay, Hedman, Giordano, and Letang. That's a strong defense. And Markstrom and net. The Seattle Whales are set up nicely. Dear God. Troy Mihalek's going to have an awesome start to his career playing alongside Sid the Kid. And yeah, that is, not all teams are going to be crazy good, but there always will be these little pairings and things like that turn out to just work out crazy good. And I think that's going to be one of them, is Mihalek and Crosby together. Wheeler, Horvat. Jeez. And Kucherov, and they have Walker Harris as well. The San Jose Stingrays look pretty nasty. Oh, God, they look really nasty. I just noticed Leo Brookbank. Oh, San Jose is going to be a team to compete with. And fortunately, they're not in our division, but they are in our conference. So, that's not going to be fun. San Jose set up nicely. Yuri Chubasov ended up in Toronto. So Toronto's got their centerpiece for the future. On defense, not as crazy good, but Yossi and Ekman Larsson's a nice group. And Carter Hart and net. Toronto is definitely in a good spot. And then, ooh, man. Ooh, that is actually nasty in Vancouver. Matthews, Nylander, and Lutz. Jeez. I think it's Lutz. I don't think you'd say Lutz, but I think it's Lutz because it's American. And they got Stanislav Brizgalov. Ooh, Vancouver is another nasty team. We're going to have some serious battle of the Pacific here. Literally, because it's the Narwhals versus the Stingrays. It's going to be insane in the future. That is going to be so fun to watch. I get the feeling that the Narwhals will be the more successful team out of those two just because of the goaltending more than anything. But solid team in Winnipeg. Nothing to drool over, but, you know, Louis Jar, still really good. And they got Dobson underneath there. I just saw him there too. And yeah, Winnipeg's looking good. I don't know why Washington goes after Winnipeg. Like, does that make sense to you? Doesn't make sense to me. Solid group in Washington. Did they get a good goalie? Oh, they got Aino Toskala. So, yeah, that looks like pretty much the entire league here. I don't know why Mississauga and Edmonton go before everyone else, but that's how things work in the N.A.H.L. So, yeah, this is going to be a really fun season heading forward here. Our team ratings are looking pretty nasty. 92, 86, 86. That looks good. By the looks of it, they've named Barkov our captain. And, you know, I can show you guys all of the jerseys here. Obviously, you know, you've seen our jerseys. They look pretty solid. I'd say they look pretty sweet, actually. But this is one of the jerseys I was actually pretty happy with, was the Phoenix Rattlesnakes. I didn't expect the gray, black, and white to turn out so well. But, yeah, no, definitely a real nice kind of look there for the Rattlesnakes. But anyways, next episode we will get into the 2019/20 season. Probably take a while to get through it, but yeah, I like how the Cosmonauts are looking right now. If the franchise players in our team can grow, then this team will be competitive and will be, you know, scary heading into the future. So that's really the guys that is dependent on. Consist of, I would say, Donovan Leach, John Davidson, and Jamie Larmour. Those are your three guys to, you know, watch out for here. If the 18-year-olds can perform, then this is going to be a scary team. It's probably going to be a championship status team. But really, you know, it wouldn't be all that bad if the team just absolutely tanked it and somehow landed yet another franchise player. That is another option. So, you know, Caden Loynes, we got our eyes on you. But, yeah, I doubt that happens. But who knows? Who knows what happens here? So anyways, that is going to wrap it up for episode 1 of this NHL 20 custom franchise mode here. With the Houston Cosmonauts. If you guys are enjoying and looking forward to the rest of this series that is to come, I know I am, then please go down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This has been a pretty long video. Make sure that you leave a like on the video as well. That helps the YouTube algorithm. And also make sure to comment, because I love reading your guys' comments. And that's going to be it for me. This is Etanyos signing out, and see ya!